Hey everyone, Oskar here. Welcome back to Mastering React Native TurboModules series. In the last episode, we've added event emitting to our TurboModule, and in this one, we'll continue building on the same code that you can find on GitHub on this page, and this will be also linked in the description. And then here, for example, you can filter by branches. This video will be on the constants export branch. And yeah, as I said, we will focus on exposing constants from your Turbo module. And this is useful when we want to have full type safety between native and JavaScript. And an example of this from like a built-in React Native Turbo module would be the native device info, which exposes screen height and width. And this doesn't change. Only the window size can change, for example, on iPads, but the screen size stays the same. So we can actually use constants to expose it. And continuing on building on the previous example on the local storage, we will expose our hard-coded storage key from native to JavaScript. So yeah, let's jump straight into the implementation. So here I have the project up and running. And first, let's go into modules, SRC, and to this Codegen spec that we have here. And so in order to define constants, we need the type for it. So in our case, it will be local storage constants with one constant storage key. And then here we can use getConstants and type the return value as local storage constants. And this getConstants is a special name because only if you use this one, you'll get the actual typings properly. So Codegen looks for the getConstants method and then uses a different set of typings and code generation. And to prove that, we can also add getMyConstants and do the very same thing. And we will see how it compares. So yeah, let's go to iOS directory and install pods. All right, after pods are installed, we can do xd that to open this in Xcode. And yeah, let's go to local storage.h and examine what is exactly generated for us. So immediately you can see that getMyConstants has a return type of NS dictionary, which means it doesn't have any type safety because we just return a dictionary that can contain anything. But if you take a look at the other generated stuff, we've got constants to export and getConstants, which will be the two methods that we will need to implement. And in here, you can see native local storage constants. So let's take a look. In the input, we can see that the required key is a storage key. So this is the exact difference between using getConstants and just a normal method, that we've got this full end-to-end type safety. So we will need to implement on the native side the storage key typed fully. And then on the JavaScript side, when we call this method, we will have also full type safety. So this is the biggest difference. In this method, we can, for example, do a typo storage key without E, let's say, and this won't work because this will break at runtime. But the native built-in way into Turbo modules of exposing constants allow us to get this full type safety at the compile time. So if we do a typo, then it will be cached at compile time. But unfortunately, as you see now, we'll have to do a bit more work to get it to get the benefits of this type safety. So let's first jump into the Swift implementation. And as you can see, this is the key we want to expose. So let's do static public let storage key. And let's name it local storage. And let's use it here. All right. So we changed it to static public let. So this will be now accessible from the Objective-C side, and we can actually expose it. So this will be the only change we'll do in the Swift setup. Next, we'll need to go to the Objective-C side. All right. So first thing we need to do is to actually store a reference to those constants. And this is actually C++, so this is pretty long. But yeah, the only thing that you need to change here is the native local storage, because this will be code generated based on the name of your module. So in here, we will actually like prepare a place to store those constants. And then in the init method, we can then initialize the constants. So what is this doing? It's calling the typed constants method with the, so if we remove this for a second, you can see if we type dot, it will get the RCT required and the string storage key. So we get full like type safety if we do key like this, native local storage key, then this won't compile. We have to be specific and have the correct naming. So inside of init, we initialize the constants, and the storage key is set to the storage key from Swift. So as you can see here. And then what we need to do is actually implement two additional methods. These ones. Let me save some typing by actually pasting them, and let's go over them. So the first one is getConstants, which returns the actual constants that we saved in here. And the second one is constants to export, and we just call self getConstants and cast it to this type. So I actually took this whole code from React Native source code, just slightly changed this to our scenario. And unfortunately, it's not documented why exactly we need two methods, but this is how the protocol is generated for us. I never saw one of those methods called. I'm not sure which one. We will check it later on, but yeah, the protocol says we have to implement both of them. This is the way to do it. And so you can see here that we still have this yellow warning that we didn't implement all of the methods. And this is because we also have to implement getMyConstants. And you can immediately see the difference, the type we have here and this NS dictionary we discussed before. So actually we can do just like an empty dictionary, and this code will be successfully compiled because this is a valid dictionary that's empty, but the constants won't have this end-to-end type safety. We will have to cast it constantly. So yeah, now we can actually compile. All right, and the compilation is successful with all of the new code we've added. Now let's jump in back to the JavaScript changes to actually tabs index. In here, where we do this press buttons, where we show them, just below welcome, we can actually, we can print the storage key. Okay, maybe not here. Let's do it here. And as you can see, storage key is being called and properly retrieved. And let's place some breakpoints to see what is getting called. All right, so this one, getConstants. This one is only called, but the constants to export, I never seen this being called, but maybe it's there for some future improvement for the spec. So yeah, this is how it works. On the init of the module, we initialize the constants, so we retrieve it only once. And then this method gets called whenever we call getConstants. And as an optional optimization that I want to show you, that we won't be implementing in this video, but here is the native device info spec, JavaScript spec from React Native source code. And as you can see in here, they do this slight optimization where they save the constants and only call it once where the constants are null. So because now the method will be called every time you actually, this native method will be called every time you actually call getConstants. But with this improvement, this will be called only once. And also, I don't think I showed this, but as you can see, the getConstants method has like full type safety now. It knows that it's a string because of this shared spec between native and JavaScript. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Now I hope you know how to add constants to your own turbo module in a like fully type safe way. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, drop your questions in the comments, and subscribe to Callstack's YouTube channel. Yeah, and I see you in the next one. Bye.